Grim Batol used to be the home of the Wildhammer clan, the dwarves. It was basically their version of Ironforge, and it does look a lot like Ironforge inside.
It feels like Ironforge as well, doesn't it?
Yeah. Only it's got Twilight cultists freaking everywhere. It's got lots of red dragons that are sort of being held prisoner, and it's scary and horrible. The reason it's sort of scary and horrible is because there's a fell taint in the place, Lewis. Don't know if you're aware of this. Some bad lady died there, and it was filled with the foul fell taint.
Of that old woman. Right.
Yeah, of that
Okay.
woman. And this is the place where Alexastra was kidnapped and taken to, and then forced to engage in sexual intercourse with other dragons,
Oh
so
God.
she could give birth to lots of baby dragons. So yeah, the Twilight Drakes that you see here, and a whole bunch of eggs that you see at the end, all there because of Alexastra being just repeatedly abused.
Oh
Which
God.
is horrible, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is horrible, but it explains why why the stuff is there.
Okay.
You can't get away from the fact. It's horrible.
I don't like it now.
No.
No, this is the hardest instance we've played through. It's got the most trash. It's
Oh
the
my God.
complicatedest. Complicatedest? Is that a word?
I don't think that's
so.
a word.
I think
no.
it is. I'm going to go with it.
Most complicated.
There's so
I think,
much trash, in fact, that you actually have a thing at the start where you actually have to mount up on red dragons and use them to damage the trash. Which kind of
Get
is...
on the frickin' dragons
it's
at the
quite
same
cool.
time. Pro tip.
Yeah, try and get your whole team on the dragons at the same time and AoE the same like trash. Some of the trash is obviously skippable, and you don't want to be wasting your dragons on shooting that. So if someone doesn't know what they're doing or what ones they're supposed to be shooting, you can at least have your group together and just shoot the ones that other people are shooting. Okay. There's a lot of interesting trash in here. Some of it is pretty obnoxious. You need a lot of crowd control. And you really do have to be careful in here, especially if you come across a full strength pack that you haven't AoE'd at all with your dragons. They've got some abilities that synergize quite badly together.
As you progress through and kill bosses, to get back to where you were previously quicker on a corpse run, you can hop on a dragon and it will fly you to nearer or where the last boss was, or somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely certain where.
Like most of the instances, that is the kind of teleport for this instance. It's to jump on these dragons and they will fly you through the instance towards the last boss you killed, kind of thing, which saves a lot of time, especially if you're wiping on the bosses, and you will be wiping on the last couple of bosses. I can promise you that. The first boss we wiped on, I think, more than any other boss in 5-mans.
More than any raid boss.
He is a real...
We gave up on raid bosses before we gave up on this guy.
He has a lot of abilities that one-shot you. There's 2 abilities, one called Blitz, where he charges at you and knocks you up in the air, which will hit you for, about 150k damage. You need to, that's horrible. There's another couple of insta-kill abilities. There's also these horrible trogs that spawn and fuck you up. Oh, you have to be able to handle them. And then he frenzies, and without like proper good healing and proper health tools, it's just a real troublesome fight.
He's like a raid boss. He's like
he
a
is
fucking
hard
raid
as
boss, this
nails. I'm sure he will be nerfed because the other bosses are probably easier by comparison. The second boss is a big jumbo 2-headed new model Etin chappie who sort of picks what weapon he's going to use. So he either goes with his sword, mace, or shield, and they each have different kind of abilities. So a bit like the first boss of the Halls of Lightning, where he picks a weapon and then does abilities based on that, which is quite a cool fight.
Or Mr. Smite from Old Dead Mines.
Yeah, Mr. Smite.
Who isn't?
He's not with
in
us.
the game
He's not with us anymore, Simon. He's passed. He's dead.
R.I.P. Smite. R.I.P.
Although Cookie does still drop his hammer, I think, and you'll probably see a lot of people
Oh,
with that on the
okay,
heroic.
that's all right then.
Yeah. Third boss is a orc, like warlocky kind of guy who summons these horrible flame things which kill people if they stand near them. And then he actually jumps onto Valiona, who is a raid boss in Bastion of Twilight. She has actually got similar abilities to
Oh
the ones that
God,
she's got
yeah.
in the raid, which is kind of cool because it actually teaches you a little bit how to, spot them. So when you actually raid her, you won't be completely clueless. You'll actually have seen a couple of her abilities before, which is quite a funky idea, I think.
But yeah, what I remember is he's a nasty orc warlock guy from the Twilight cult. He'll summon flame elemental guys, little baby ones though, and for some reason you have to kill them really quickly, otherwise Lewis shouts at you, which is. I mean, I don't know what happens if they hit the boss. He'll become enraged or something. I know that certainly Lewis will become enraged, so it's worth killing them as quick as possible.
The final boss is a faceless one, like General Vezak's character. I don't know what they're called. Are they called faceless ones?
Or deep ones, something like that, isn't it?
Deep ones? Yeah, like a wobbly face, older god. What are they? What are they? They're like insect, chaotic creations.
Okay, imagine you have a little toy elephant and it's made of plastic, and you put it in the microwave. That's basically what you have.
Okay, so it's one of those guys, and he's pretty nasty actually, but once you've got the tactics down, it's a very, very fun fight. Really fun.
It
really
is,
cool.
yeah.
So yeah, hopefully we'll give you the lowdown on how to kill these bosses on Heroic with this series of videos, and you will be able to do it and pick up your lovely Heroic blues. Because you're going to need it for this instance. This is the worst one.
Woohoo!